Hello, and welcome into chapter 3 of the Discordant Note. I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be your storyteller today. Um, I would like to introduce all of y'all once again to my glorious cast, and they will introduce themselves. We will start with Satine.
Hello, my name is Satine Bonnet, pronouns my name, and they, them pronouns okay. And I'll be playing Luma the Frail, or is it Faluma or Luma? We don't know yet. And I'll be playing a Wonderborn Fungrel Druid, and their pronouns are they, them.
You go
Oh,
hop.
let me see. RJ.
Hi, I'm RJ from TV, pronouns they, she, and I am going to be playing Whisper Skyleaf. He is our Seaborn Fairy Sorcerer, and I'm going to popcorn it to Ava.
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your Madam Ava here. Today I'm going to be playing Zalima, the Loreborn Furbolg Seraph, both using she, her pronouns, and we're going to popcorn it over to Sweet.
Hello, I was muted there. I'm Sweet Code, she, her. I will be playing Zadiah, the Wildborn Fawn, also she, her pronouns.
And I will bring us back to the land of the fallen, the dead, the deceased. And last session, we met the director of the choir, Quinn, a very close friend of our darling Whisper here. We met a lone cellist in the halls of the choir, the chantry, chorale, who played a lovely song for Zalima. And Zadiah and Luma, or Faluma or Fa, we're not sure, had a very tender moment on the hills above the temple of the goddess, the temple of the gods. The temple itself is massive. It's a castle of obsidian black glass with spiraling bochka roofs of like black opal with hues of green and blue and orange sort of scattered deeply throughout. The whole temple shines in the setting sun, despite the pounding rain. It sits on a tidal island deep in a blue-black sea of rushing water that shines with bioluminescence, the undulations of the sea light making the castle gleam from the bottom. On the rocky tidal island, there is a sea not of grass, but of shimmering rot. Arcing around the castle like a mini pointed star, the nexus of the rot seems to be the castle itself, and the fungus moves with the wind. The six of you, Zadiah, Luma, Zalima, and Whisper, along with Quinn and Cadence, you stride forward, and you hear Quinn quietly say, "We're here, guys. We arrived. This is the castle of the gods. What would y'all like to do?"
It's pretty eerie for, you know, such an important place for the gods. Has it always looked like this?
You see lightning shoot over the castle as you say this, and you hear a peal of thunder just as Quinn nods slowly, says, "Eerie is relative, I think. This is the domain of the gods, so it's closer to primordial, elemental, maybe. Depends on how you look at it."
Well, I don't think we should pause too long. We need to get this fixed, right?
Indeed. Shall we?
We shall.
You see Quinn gives you a flourish of of their hand, and they walk with you toward the castle, and they're holding tightly to your arms, still whisper. And you hear them say, "So, fair warning, there you and you see Quinn kind of struggles a little before they say, "You have to prove that you have worth to the gods, or that you are worthy of speaking with them. The door is always open, of course, but you have to get through it." And you see Cadence sort of, even Cadence has like gone quiet. He knows how to read the room, loud though he may be, and he stares up at the walls of this temple with sheer awe. And he says, "I don't think I've ever been out this far." And what do you mean, fight? Worthiness? And Quinn nods, says, "I can get through. I've already done this. I am a servant of the gods. But the rest of you are not. So, what would you have me do?"
Um, is it possible that once you step through, you could, I don't know, announce us in preparation? And is there like a test that we need to take one by one? Are we able to do this together as a team?
Quinn nods at this. They say, "I can go and let the gods know that you're on your way, if you'd like. But you would still have to face this down. And yes, of course, you can do this as a team. The gods are not unreasonable."
Will you be all
You
right without us if you go first? Just waiting?
Quinn squeezes your hand and holds you a little tighter, says, "Of course. I lived here for a very long time. This is like a second home to me." So Quinn leads you guys forward down the hills, across the path toward the tidal island. You feel the spray of the sea along your ankles as you cross this rocky path. It's not dangerous per se, it's not slippery, anything like that, and it's wide enough for you to go 2 by 2 should you feel so inclined. And as you traverse this rocky path, you see the castle, the temple, the home of the gods looming up before you. Black spires, shining roofs. And honestly, it's bigger than anything you guys have ever seen in life. It's bigger than the greenhouse, bigger than the hall of residence. It takes up your entire eye line, blocks out the horizon. And Quinn walks forward with purpose, understanding that this is the place that we must be to solve what has been broken. And they say, "You will probably have to pass the guards, but I'll go ahead and let the goddesses know you're coming." As you walk across like a bridge, like a stone bridge across this like moat, basically in front of the castle, of the seawater sort of glowing in the light underneath you. And you walk across the stone bridge and you see the doors of the castle themselves, wide, 45 feet tall, massive, as though you're staring up at a skyscraper. And the doors are open, as Quinn promised. but you see sitting in front of them 3 massive, like easily like 7 or 8 feet at the shoulder, taller than y'all, except for maybe Luma by an order of magnitude. Um, Big, beefy, 6 legs each, and they look like panthers, without fur. Black, like skin, sort of like hairless cats or sphinx cats, and they are. One of them is licking a paw. One of them is like chewing on a little toy, like a little squeaky chew toy. And the other is looking at the 6 of you proceeding forward. Quinn squeezes your arm again and says, I'll see you inside. And lets you go, walks forward and like pats the head of one of these dusk hounds, because that's what they're called. Pats the head of one of these dusk hounds and mentions them by like, oh no, by like name. And like what you hear, actually, I'm gonna have it be a roll. Because I know who would know the answer to this question. I will have y'all roll a knowledge roll for me, please. Just to see if you understand. Zadiah, you can add a +2 for languages. And Zalima, I think you can do well read in this case as well. So you can do that with advantage.
I got a 12 with fear.
A 12 with fear. Okay.
I'm also going to add one of my prayer dice for that.
Okay.
I got a 17 with hope.
17 with hope. Beautiful. Take your hope.
I have 12 with hope.
12 with hope. Beautiful. Take your hope.
28
Oh, I
with
think you're
hope.
next there. 28 with hope. Beautiful. And I figured it would be you, Zalima. I figured it would be you who understood this. You hear Quinn whispering to these big cats, these like dusk hounds. They're not, I don't know why they're called dusk hounds if they're cats. Whatever, that's what they are. And you see they give scritches to one of them and whispers their name. And the name of these dusk hounds are Life, Death, and Rebirth. That's their names. That's what he's whispering. That's what they're whispering as they speak to these dusk hounds. And then Quinn walks into the doors underneath this portcullis and through the gates through a huge obsidian thick ass wall, and disappears into the castle. The dusk hounds stand and regard you, staring imperiously down at the 5 of you. You hear Cadence literally shaking in his boots. And he says, guys, what do you want to do here? They look like they're hungry.
We should be fine. Quinn wouldn't lead us into danger unduly. Just calm down. And Whisper is going to, this is so stupid, craft a minor illusion of like another squeaky toy and like pretend to like throw it and see if
throw in illusion. That's funny as shit. Okay, let me see now. What we will call this is a presence roll, just to see how well you're lying about this.
It's a 21 with fear. I love lying.
Okay, 21 with fear. So the one that was already chewing on this squeaky toy, you hear, wiki, wiki. and it looks at the squeaky toy that you have crafted, and it stands up, lolls out its tongue a little bit, and then runs after the squeaky toy as you huck it. The other two begin to move towards you. The
One
one that
down.
had the squeaky toy turns to run, and you hear the snapping of its jaws trying to get at this toy, and it finally like clamps down on nothing. You hear its teeth like clack together,
Oh, poor things.
and then it turns and begins to snarl. And I will say, it's time to fight, guys. It's time to fight. Let's go for it. Fight my
Damn
little
it,
dust
Whisper.
clouds. Huh?
Mm-mm. Damn it, Whisper.
I wonder
I
if they
was
meant us any harm in the first place.
I mean, I was just playing. Don't you play with cats? I don't know. I'm not an animal person.
Goodness.
I did the trapeze in the circus, okay?
No, those are definitely dogs. I don't know what you're talking about, Whisper.
Well, whichever.
They're very elegant creatures, and you just mocked one of them.
I
Mm-mm.
gave it a plaything. Nothing I do is ever right, I swear.
I mean, I wanted to suggest throwing Cadence. The way that he was shaking, he sounded like Bones.
What? And you hear Cadence, what? What do you mean? Throw me? And Cadence like
Made a joke.
When I distress the anxious person, it's not funny, but
The anxious person is
alright.
not here.
Cadence was quite anxious just now.
Mm. All right, how do we
so
do this initiative shit?
how this works, you guys can do what you'd like. It's very fluid in that way. So you can take your moves as you see them, but when you roll with fear, I get to take fear, and what I do with that is my choice. So there is no initiative order. Whomever would like to go first, please feel free.
How close are they to us?
That was my
They
question.
are probably far distance at this point. They're probably a far distance and gaining, closing in on y'all.
Hmm. Okay.
So about 30 feet away, like 6 squares in D&D.
Whisper. And we're on the bridge still.
Yes. You're on the front, like the far part of the bridge. They're on the farthest part of the bridge closest to the door.
Gotcha. Whisper is going to turn and just like give a little boop to Salima's shoulder and cast wall walk.
Ooh,
So just in case you need to be on a surface that's not the ground.
cute.
Interesting.
And they'll say, all right, well, what's your plan? And start flying a little bit so that he's not like blocking the bridge from anyone.
I would like to charge.
Period.
So I would have to succeed on an agility roll to move from far to very far range into melee with one or more targets, and then I can mark a
Mhm.
stress to deal 1d12 physical damage to all targets. So
Sounds good. Go ahead. And they are kind of clumped together a little bit. There's two like right on opposite sides of the bridge. So if you run into the middle of them, you can get both of them. The one that ran after the squeaky toy is a little bit further out.
we can deal with the two.
Got you. So go ahead and roll
Alright.
your agility.
Okay. Agility. And then, because that was not the greatest roll, I'm going to add another paradise for that, and that is 10, 11, 12 for with fear.
12 with fear.
Hmm.
Wonderful. Okay. And you're going after these hounds. That does not hit. So what happens as you charge? Tell me what happens as you charge.
I think Zalima gets into like a sprinter's stance of like just leaning. I'm like crouching down and like leaning in, and then just like bolting forward. And I think what ends up happening is when she goes in to like try to swing, she overcalculates just a tiny bit and like ends up getting behind them in the swing instead of like hitting like making actual like complete contact with them.
Mhm. So like you charge forward and they're standing on either side of the bridge and you overcalculate and you turn sliding directly between them and they turn and look at you and then one goes towards you and the other begins to walk down the bridge. So there is one towards you, there's one behind you, and there's one walking away from you.
Do I know which one is which?
Sure. We'll say the one coming towards you has little white mittens, like little white paws. The one walking down the bridge has spots, like darker black and gray spots. And the one that is behind you is just jet black.
Okay, I'm going to assume I'm in front of life, the one walking towards everyone else's rebirth, and the one that was offended by Whisperer's death. I'm just going with
Yes.
that assumption.
Yeah, that works. That works. That works. That works.
Love
Nice.
it.
Uh okay. So who would like to go next?
But I have a question.
I have an answer.
Okay, so when I did level up, I have new
Mhm.
spells, but I'm
Mhm.
assuming I have to swap to get to them because they're not on my initial character sheet. So I have to swap them.
Let me see here. So the spells that you took, oh
Mhm.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can swap them.
So I just wanted to
Yeah.
know because it says I can enable. Do I do it with the cost or without cost?
Wh- What are you looking at, sweetie?
Okay, so if you see the
Yeah,
swap,
I'm looking at your character sheet. Let me
okay,
see.
you see the
Swap.
swap. If you scroll down, it's
Oh,
like enable downtime swapping, no recall cost, or
I see. So this happens. Let me see. If you're adjusting your loadout during combat when the action tracker is in use, you would need to use an action to switch your cards. And you would also need to mark stress, but you can't do so while I'm making a move. I'm just going to collect the fear and let that be that. Um so you can swap out your loadout, but you would need to mark a stress to do so. And that takes your action as well.
okay, that's what I'm gonna do right now.
Okay. Who else would like to go after my beautiful hounds?
All right, let's see. I was trying to look through all my beast forms just now, just looking through it. And Luma is going to turn into their beast form because I'm assuming Zalima is closer to the one on the bridge already, far from me.
Yeah.
Needle.
Zelima is closest to life.
Mhm.
Rebirth is walking towards y'all, and Death is behind Zelima, further back.
Okay. And Whisper is still like pretty much Whisper. And Zadaya is they're still by me, right? Like they haven't moved.
Whisper's flying a little bit above, but he's still in the same area.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and transform into a pouncing predator. And let's see, what form do I want to? You know what? It's in my vein. I love it so much. I think what's gonna happen when they transform is they drop down on all I guess all six because they got 6 hands. And I
Mhm.
mean wait, two
Well, 6
hands and
appendages.
yes, and
I
feet.
got you.
Foot. And they're gonna slowly transform as it looks like into a hyena, but it looks like
Ooh.
a parasite has taken over a hyena. So the skin is stretched out into like a instead of hair, it's like a hairless version of it. So it's six legs with like the fur is actually the ridges of how the ruffles of um Luma. I don't know why I'm getting everyone's name into my name. I'm like, they're all in me, but into Luma's form, and their eyes, their double set eyes flash a really red hue as they start snarling, as the teeth looks more like Brussels, with the fungal coming out of it, like fungal stuff coming into it. And they look down to the closest person. Who is closest to me? I need to mark a stress.
Rebirth. Yeah, go ahead and mark your
Rebirth.
stress.
Um,
Rebirth is closest to you.
I want to mark a stress. I'm gonna move into melee range of Rebirth and make a base
Mhm.
attack against him.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
let's see. I'm marking another stress. Okay. What do I need to roll for this? Melee attack. So where is that? Sorry, I'm trying to get to my page.
You're fine, baby.
Where is my rolling dice? Okay. So rolling for a melee attack, where is the point for that? Where is the section for that?
Mm. Um,
On my
it's on
page,
your
it doesn't
weapons.
have it. It's on my
Mhm.
weapons, so
Mhm.
um
It would be
okay.
+3 with your instinct if you're
Okay.
doing your short stuff.
Okay, melee D. Well, I'm not using my short staff because I'm in a I can't use weapons. So
Oh,
my
right.
melee is a wait, I see it. It says a D8 plus a 6. So
A D8
let's go
plus
ahead.
6. Okay.
Right, let's do that. Plus 6. All right. 21 with hope.
21 with hope to hit.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes, that hits.
And
I think you're maxed out on hope, but if you're not, go ahead and take one.
on success, take +2 proficiency on a damage and cause the target a mark of stress.
You give me a mark of stress. Beautiful. Good to know. Oof. Okay. Who would like to go next?
Am I able to act now?
Mhm.
Or okay. So I want to use the ability construct.
Mhm.
Let me go back over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna spend a hope and choose a group of items or objects around me. So is there like rocks or like loose things
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
building? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to create some type of rock golem type of form. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell
And then
yes.
I want to I guess I have to roll for that first. Hold on.
Mhm.
Make sure it works before I do it. Spell cast. 13 with hope. Yeah.
13 with hope. That does not hit, but take your hope just the same.
Well, I wasn't trying to
Or
hit with
that
it.
doesn't you added your +3, right?
No. Oh, no, I didn't.
To your spellcast roll?
Yeah, I didn't add it. So 13.
Okay, so that's 16.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to hit with it. I was just trying to form it.
No, I get you. Yeah,
Okay.
That should work. 16 plus, 16 with hope works.
Okay. And what I wanted to do with it was I wanted to leap on top of its shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that I can't do anything else after that, right?
Probably not, no.
Well,
But because that's like one action. Is that right?
Well, yeah, because the other thing I wanted to do doesn't ask me to roll for it. So I didn't know how that would work.
Oh, yeah, we can do like action, bonus action. We can treat it like that. What is the other thing you're trying to do?
I wanted to target the one that Whisper did the illusion to. I wanted to use telepathy.
Okay. What is the range on it's just something you can see, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
One target you can see. Am I allowed to do that, or should I wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
The construct can act on your turn, basically. And you can also do the telepathy thing. That makes sense to me.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to look at because I guess I didn't know what the names were. Only
the one coming closest to y'all is Rebirth. The one that Whisper sort of tricked is Death, and the one that Zalima is in melee with is Life.
Okay. So I'm gonna just use the telepathy, and I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry. My friend is a jokester. That was totally out of line. Do we have to fight? We are here on mission for Oya's book.
So let me look at telepathy real quick just to see if there's anything it says regarding this. Give me 1 second. So, okay. You hear it speaking in a language you do not understand. You can go ahead and give me a knowledge roll if you'd like to try and understand it.
I would.
And add your +2 for languages, please.
Okay. 19 with hope.
Okay. You do not understand what's being said. You don't understand what's being said. The DC was 20. So you hear it like respond to you in a language that you don't understand. It seems to understand you fine, but it says something in that language you don't understand and continues to stalk towards Zalima.
Does the tone sound threatening, or does it
sound, yeah,
it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Message received.
So what you have your construct acting on, like standing on Rebirth's shoulders? Is that what you wanted to do?
I was on my construct shoulders. I was
you're on your construct's shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, that works. So was that all you wanted to do for your turn, Boo?
Yeah, for this turn.
Okay. And Whisper, how you feeling, babes?
Whisper is feeling a little chaotic. And he's going to kind of see the one that he shot death or tricked to death kind of creeping up, and fine, I guess I'll do something about this. And I'm going to try to unleash chaos on death. I have to make a spellcast roll.
Mm-hmm.
What's the pearls?
Oh no, that's a 6 with fear. But wait, I do have luck bender.
Okay.
So
yeah, by all means, use y'all's resources.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, be sure to spend your hope as well.
Mm-hmm. So 12 with hope.
12 with hope. Okay, that is better, but that still does not hit, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
However, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, that doesn't hit. Damn. Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, y'all just see like this ball of chaotic energy with like lightning kind of formed within a dome of black just kind of shoot off into the ether.
The Daya was like sitting there like, yes, yes, yes. Oh.
Mhm.
So I'm going to take a GM move at this moment because I have 2 fear to spend, and I think I should like very much to do that. So what I'm going to do, Rebirth is going to pounce on your construct, Zadiah. Life is going to pounce on you, Zalima. And all of them are going to, you hear a deep guttural, it's like, terribly deep. And it reverbs out. It sounds like thunder. It's so loud. And I will need all of you to lose a hope. Just one. All of you lose a hope.
How does evasion work?
Evasion is your armor class. So what's going to happen when I roll my attacks, if I like if it is over that number, then I hit you. If it's under that number, then I do not.
Okay.
And then like if I hit you and stuff, we'll adjudicate how you take damage and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack y'all.
Gentle.
You don't have to be gentle with me. It's okay.
Okay. We're already dead.
Be gentle with me.
We're already dead. And Zalima's just doing like, okay.
Okay, so on Zalima, I rolled a critical success. And on
Okay.
Zadiah, I rolled a 12 with hope or whatever. I rolled a 12. Because I don't get to keep hope here. But I think in Zadiah's case, I hit you. And in Zalima's case, I hit you as well.
You hit me or the construct?
I hit the construct. Let me see. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Thank you for keeping me honest because I do not be remembering stuff. Let me see the construct's doohickey. It shares your evasion and traits. Okay, yeah, I hit the construct. So I would hit regardless. Let's see. 2. Okay. 11 plus. So 23 damage to Zalima. And to our beautiful construct here, 18 damage. So how we adjudicate damage is utilizing your armor slots and marking HP as necessary. So there is a calculator up here where it says calculate damage right above your hit, right above your damage thresholds.
Okay.
So if you'd like to click on that, go ahead and put in your 23 damage and you can you can use your armor slots. So what that does, the number in your armor slot thing, that's how much damage it takes down. So in your case with 23 damage, each armor slot is worth 3 points of damage. So if you utilize your armor slots, you can knock that down and then mark however many HP you end up having left. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It does a little bit. Just the fact that because it's hitting the construct, would that be my health, or would it just? Because I think
it would hit its health because it shares your traits and such. So in your case, the construct,
I think it just vanishes now because it took.
oh
damage.
yeah, it vanishes. It vanishes entirely when it's hit for any amount of damage. It disappears. So the construct, what you guys see in Zalima's case, you see life stalking towards you with its little white mittens, and it swipes out at you and like cuts you across your chest here, like scrapes at like your chest and your armor area. And in Zadiah's case, you see that Rebirth has leaped up towards the construct and is like biting at its neck. And as soon as it bites its neck, the construct falls to pieces.
Can Whisper try to catch Zadiah?
Yeah, absolutely. You would have to do so on your turn, but I think I'm
Okay.
done, to be honest. So I had to get that out of my system. And now
And you
it's back
said
to y'all.
that and you said that we took stress before you attacked us, or what was the okay, making sure.
You know you lost a hope, not stress.
I
You
lost the
hope.
hope. Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Dang it. You got us good.
I do have a ability to maybe catch Zendaya, maybe.
Play goes back to y'all now.
Okay. I'll take a turn. So I see that Zendaya is how tall was the construct? Was it huge? Was it
It
medium?
wasn't too big. It was big enough for me to, leap up to it. So like maybe like the die is small. So everything's big to her. But not terribly big. Not terribly big.
Okay, so I have ability because I just see in general that you're about to fall. So I'm would I okay, this is like D&D rules. Would this also equate to this too? Like if I run past them?
Oh yeah, y'all can move up to 6 squares basically. So you can move far to melee or whatever.
In my case, I can go very far.
Oh, nice. Okay,
So
good.
I'm gonna go ahead and I say in my head, like, we need to go help this Zendaya, like to fall too. So I what is it? Run up and pass. I think is Rebirth. Is it Rebirth?
Yeah, Rebirth is on the bridge.
I run that far and catch Zendaya. And can I have Zendaya ride on my back?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
I'm
there.
gonna spend a hope to use my ability called Fleet. You can spend hope to move anywhere within far range without needing to make a check. So
Okay.
I'm gonna the other guys at the end of the bridge, they're making their way coming on the bridge, right? The last one.
Yes. Death is still behind Zalima. About far range, about like four squares away, like 20 feet. You just passed Rebirth, who is now focusing all of its attention on Whisper. And you and Zadiah are riding up to Life, the one that's in front of Zalima.
Oh,
Okay.
can I partner with you on this part here?
Yes, actually, y'all can do tag team.
As we're riding past Life, if I see, I want to try to slumber them.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to touch them or do you need to be in a certain distance?
So
Yeah,
what
so-
happens if y'all are trying to tag team? Both of you roll your dice, like roll your duality dice, and whichever one is the highest, that's what I will take to determine whether or not you hit. When you're doing slumber, Zadiah, is that a spellcast roll?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can't do spell casting rolls in my form. So do you want me to roll regularly? Like
No, you would roll regular. Yeah.
Okay.
You're rolling to make sure that you're like running steadily enough that Zadiah can focus on this.
I will roll. Uh, 20 with hope. Sorry.
20 with hope.
With
Glorious.
fleet, with the fleet ability, I would not be making any checks. It said without making the check.
No, this is to tag team.
Okay.
Not to run the distance. This is to tag team.
Okay.
Mhm.
I got 7 with fear.
7 with fear. Okay, we're taking that 20 with hope. Be sure to take your hope, darling.
Mhm.
So what you guys explain to me how you tag team, and I'll tell you what happens next.
Oh, so basically, I think I like pretty much grab Zendaya by their, I don't know what they're wearing, little haunches or their
Little collar.
their collar, and swing you up onto my back. And I can't talk in beast form, so I'm like my head's going like, where to go, where to go, where to go, where do you want me to go?
And I'm just like, I'm gonna tap you and I'll point.
And
Like,
I'm
get
running
me
for that.
close. Get me close.
And I run to that I said rebirth. I'm sorry, these names.
And towards life. No, yeah. You're
For
fine.
life, I will run straight. Like I nod and I run towards life.
Okay. So wait a minute, just to be sure, the one you're trying to attack is the one that you ran past, rebirth.
No, whoever just attacked Halima that's in front of
Yeah.
I thought
Okay,
that was
that's
the one.
life. So y'all are attacking life. So you run forward, all 6 of your legs, boom, 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 pounding a rhythm on this stone bridge. And you continue forth, coming towards the one that's hitting Zalima, life, the one with the little white mittens. And you rolled that 20 with hope and you slumber life, make him fall, blam, on the bridge there. And Zalima, now you are free to do whatever you'd like, and so are you, Whisper.
Well, okay. I guess I'll try to grapple Rebirth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we'll try that.
Rebirth is the one that's on the bridge, on the other side of the bridge next to Whisper.
All right, let's go.
I wish I could say like, oh no, I forgot about you.
Whisper's just like
running
flying
past.
above this thing, like, somebody, could you?
Come get it.
Good grief. But yeah, she'll try to grapple.
Okay. So let me see. What do you have to roll to grapple? Is that a hold on.
I mean, I see it under strength.
Oh yeah, we can make a strength check. Let's do that.
Okay. Let me double check to see if I have anything else to help with it. No, okay. Yeah, we'll just roll it. Let's see. 21 with hope.
Woo! Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So explain to me how you grapple Rebirth.
I think they're just doing that like running stance again before like just not like a full charge, but she wants to come up behind Rebirth and just fling herself, and with the arcane gauntlets put up like enough pressure on a Rebirth to like just kind of pin it down. And I think all she's going to say is, my apologies, a symbol of rebirth. This one is a fool. Please calm down.
You hear, because it does hear you and understand you, but it like growls in that guttural tone, speaking a language closer to like what animals would speak.
Mhm.
And even so, it's a different cadence than something you're used to. However, you are
If I was a more
welcome.
sillier person, I would have just been like, ba, ba, bag. But this is not Zulema. So, yes.
So if you want to try and understand it, you can roll a knowledge roll. If you would rather not, that's totally fine. But yeah, that you hear it grumbling in that language that sounds a lot like what Zadiah heard, even though you don't know that.
Sure, I'll try. I don't have points really in knowledge, but heck it. Who cares?
Got this.
I don't. It's a 12 with hope.
Yeah, no, you don't got it.
You know?
It's okay. It's okay. Well, let me double check something. Nah, no, it's okay.
You know, it's
Okay.
so funny. Like, I
Mm.
have an ability to talk to animals, but I can't do that at all when I'm in this form.
So offended, Whisper's gonna just be like, "Oh yes, apologies, creature that just tried to eat Zadiah," and he's gonna fly down and punch it with his arcane gauntlets.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, bad
Go
dog.
ahead and roll to attack. That should be a +0 for you. So whichever.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Since it's grappled, would I get advantage?
Yeah, we can say that. That makes sense to me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll with advantage.
Ooh,
Just
I got a critical success, a 26.
Ooh,
trying to show these creatures
period.
respect, and they just keep getting
I said
annihilated.
sorry. I said sorry.
But do you mean it? But do you mean it?
Whisper just keeps digging, like
You,
writing the shit down.
you saw your boyfriend, maybe family member, like being very nice with it, and then you decide to punch it in the snoot.
It tried to, it bit the girl. Okay. I feel very
It's
attacked
just
right
like, I
now.
can't wait for losing, big dog.
As soon as Quinn was gone, you was like
As soon
back
as
on
Quinn
it.
left, y'all are on my neck. Like,
You were so sweet and kind when your boyfriend, maybe family member, was around. We still don't know yet. And as soon as they left, it's like I'm gonna be like sneaky to one of the life bringing dogs. But okay.
nobody else made a move. I'm sorry for
Oh
being.
my god.
Nobody told me
Hey,
what to
I've
do.
been stressed already on one of them. What's going on here?
So,
Oh, to calculate your damage, go ahead and roll 2d10 and add 3 and then add 20.
so the 2d10 plus 3 is
Mhm.
11. So
You got 11
31?
plus 20, so 31 did. Jesus.
But
Ouch, my puppies. Oh my god.
It bit my friend.
I
So
see. Okay. So so you explain to me what it looks like as you attack Rebirth.
so Whisper's gauntlets are very like wispy looking things, like not what you would expect to see. It's almost like a very loose chain kind of thingy. Um almost like jewelry, really. And as soon as like he cocks his arm back to hit it, it like flashes as bright as lightning. And you can feel like the heat as it goes past you, Selima. And it just like hits.
Mm. And so you rear back a gloved fist and you punch Rebirth dead in the fucking snoot. And it crackles with lightning just as a peal of thunder goes boom right above you, and lightning streaks across the sky just in time with your hit. And you see Rebirth falls down in Zalima's arms and decides to take a nap about it. Cause ouch his snoot. Um So Rebirth is down. Poor Rebirth, just doing his job, you know. So Rebirth is down, and we just have life and death behind y'all. Who would like to act?
Isn't one of them asleep?
Yes, Rebirth is asleep.
Okay.
Rebirth is asleep, and so is life actually.
Okay. Does that mean they're out of commission, or they just,
Yeah, two of them are down in this case. So the one that is left behind is death, actually.
Okay.
That is
And they
very
haven't even
fitting.
got on the bridge.
Yeah.
That is so fitting. Death is left. Yeah.
Death is left, yeah. I love when things are poetic. Oh my
How
god.
far away is Death from me and Luma?
10 feet at this point.
Um,
And
I was about to
getting
say, Death has been
bigger
taking
and
the
bigger.
longest walk.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try something.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use ice spikes to freeze it in place.
Ooh. Okay. So let's see here. Ice spikes. I saw that on your sheet. Make a spellcast roll. Are you trying to use them as a weapon? Or just trying to freeze him?
I'm trying to freeze it so it can't attack us. It's just gonna be there. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Zendaya wants to hurt any of them. She's just trying to solve the problem.
Got you. Got you.
Okay, so
go ahead and make your spellcast roll +3.
22 with hope.
22 with hope. God damn. Yeah, take your hope. And did you add your +3 or no?
I did.
You did. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, that does it. You see that death, it like tries to take a step forward and like steps down on a like you explained to me actually what your ice spice looks like and ice spikes look like. And I will tell you what happens next. What the fuck?
So
Ice Spice doesn't even
I'm
play
still
Daggerheart.
on Luma's back, so I'm kind of like we're like galloping, and then like I tap her shoulders so they kind of spin back forward, and then I kind of like kind of arch myself up, and I just kind of raise my hands up, and what forms is kind of like a ice spike. It actually looks like a spike, but when I push it forward, it when it hits it like splashes into like freezing everything around it, like and coming up its legs to like lock it into place.
Yes. And you see Death tries to take a step forward, tries to get away from it, and puts down a single paw and almost slips, but the ice catches it and holds the paw in place, holds all 6 of its paws in place. And finally, you see Death begins to like flop down on himself and like begins to purr, tail sort of switching a little, and we are out of combat. You guys have taken out all of my little dust hounds, so congratulations. And you didn't see the worst part, so that's good. You made smart decisions. So well done, y'all. Very good job. So with that in mind, how would y'all like to proceed now that the dust hounds are pulled out of like combat, basically, or taken out of the equation? How would y'all like to proceed?
I'm gonna get down off of Luma's back and thank you so much for catching me. Oh my god, I didn't think it was gonna get this wild.
I think Luma is still in beast form. This smile's like the most vicious hyena smile, and slowly but surely like melts down into their form, and says to Zendaya, "Anytime. That was fun."
Yes, it kind of was. It's a little exhilarating, right?
Yes, yes. Do you want to fight again? They're still on the bridge.
No, I've had my
Okay.
fill. Thank you. I think
I
she
think right. I think right now Zalima, because she saw the whole lightning show and all that stuff. I think they could find her still kind of, instead of it being a grapple pose right now, she's kind of just clinging to rebirth and just kind of just still.
Mm.
Whisper will like land in front of the two of them. You don't like me very much, do you?
She's not comprehending it right now.
And he'll kind of just lean in and kind of inspect Rebirth to see like if he's done anything permanent.
Mm. I mean, Rebirth got like punched in the snoot something fierce, but this is an aspect of Rebirth. Coming back is kind of what he does.
Right. So seeing that, he'll kind of just like shrug and walk towards the other two. All right. What should we do now? Should we go in? Should we?
I do think that Zalima took a little damage. Zalima, are you okay? And she's gonna kind of like run like over.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I will like look at Whisper, and we need to do this and say we need to do this together, and walk to the Zalima, and do I notice like from before, like the two other times when you were like jumping because of the lightning and the thunder, do I notice that same effect again?
It's very similar, yeah.
Okay. I think what I do, because I don't know where on your person is the sunglasses. Wait, the fantasy sunglasses and the fantasy Bluetooth headphones. But for now, I think seeing how you are, they're going to use their nomadic pack again, and you're laying with Rebirth, right?
hmm
I
I
think
think I think the headphones are on because she has it on mainly due to cadence.
Fair.
the whole entire time you've been on, like, huh? Pretending that you hear everything that Cadence said.
What?
Like this.
What? No, no, no. Shit.
Right.
Cadence is actually like hiding behind the bridge, like was hiding this entire time, didn't
He didn't
want
do
anything
nothing.
to do with what the hell was
This little
going
punk.
on there.
Mm.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a DJ, not a brawler.
See,
Literally, also
and
the satyr.
see,
So it is a
the
punk.
joke of throwing him, no longer a joke. Should have thrown him.
Yeah.
I think Whisper's gonna go collect Cadence while they're checking on Selima.
Cadence sort of like bops his way forward, fake jaunty, trying his best to look like he was here the whole time and everything was super great and good and normal. Actually,
The
that's
nerve.
not what's happening. The gall, the goddamn gumption.
I think what Luma pulls out of their pack this time is like a very heavy blanket, like one of those what is it called with the little
Weighted blankets.
yes, a weighted blanket, because at least that will, you won't be able to see the lightning and it's comforting at the same time. But I made it big enough so I could cover the dog and the dog, cat, and you, and cover you and say we can wait it out as long as you need, and just sits down next to you.
Mm, no, we should continue. It was a pitiful display. My apologies.
You don't need to apologize. This is a fair, a trauma.
Mm,
So as long as you're good, we can go forward.
Agreed.
You would think drowning would have been the worst thing to be afraid of, but no, it had to be fucking lightning. Let me double check how I heal myself.
Oh, you know how
So
we heal here. We gotta dance.
y'all would have to do downtime.
Oh god. Ah!
Now remember, you
Yeah.
said that the only way we can heal ourselves is
Yeah,
to
they
dance.
dance. They dance. Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
my god, are you? I didn't.
It's canon now. I was just
Oh,
talking
Alright.
shit, but I mean, it's canon now.
Yeah, let's
And
get up. She
mechanically, y'all would have to do the downtime thing, which you can do here should you feel so inclined. Um, but yeah, you would have to do the downtime thing mechanically, but for flavor, you could be twerking, you know?
I do have regeneration, so I can add that into it. Do you need help? Like,
I'm trying to clear hit points. In regards to the armor slots, do those refresh like after long rest type of vibes, or like how's that? Okay,
They can, yeah.
okay.
And you can
Um,
also you can do whatever you'd like with them as well.
okay,
During your downtime. You can clear 1d4. Not mistaken.
okay.
yeah, I
Uh,
have a regeneration, so I can heal somebody.
okay.
Yeah.
I will do. I'll clear 2 armor slots for myself, and then also do a D4 of healing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Luma, I humbly request, could you hold this weighted blanket so no one sees what I have to do?
Zadaya is standing right there.
This is why. Hold the blanket out. I don't want anyone to see.
I pick up the blanket
I
because
can I can dance with you.
we
No,
can all
no, no,
dance.
no, no,
Kind
no,
of.
no, no,
I don't
no.
know.
I don't wish to be seen right now.
Holding the blanket.
Oh, whisper cadence. I think we need a beat.
No, absolutely not. No, no, no. She's done. She's done, and she's gonna lightly place the blanket back on rebirth. Thank you.
Sorry.
What
And
did
keep moving.
Zelima do in their 5 seconds of dancing?
Something liturgical. That's all you need to know.
Shimmy shimmy the shoulders a little bit. Loosen them out.
Oh God.
This is fabulous.
I just
Okay.
imagine Cadence just running over like, what? A party.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah. Before homeboy was knock-kneed and shivering, and you said beatbox, we need a beat. All of a sudden, he is back in his normal element, living
Cadence
his
on the
best
beat.
life.
Cadence on the beat.
Cadence on the beat, for real.
Oh my God.
You disappoint me.
Cadence goes, that's fair.
I appreciate that you understand your shortcomings. You need to work on that.
He gives you finger guns. Can do.
He's not gonna do this.
He's not gonna do this.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, how are the rest of you spending your downtime? What would you like to do?
I think Whisper is mostly sulking, but can I mark a stress to replenish my Unleash Chaos card?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'll do that.
I don't think I have. Wait, let me not say that. I was like, I don't think I have anything, and I was like, I need to take off some stress. So I'm
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You took on a lot of stress, big
yeah, I
dog.
got two. I got 2 stress. So I'm gonna do clarity of nature. Once
Mhm.
per long rest. Is this classified downtime as long rest?
This is a short rest.
Okay, so I won't be able to do that. So I'll just do
Mhm.
regeneration. So I'll just mark 3 take off. I already got a whole bunch of hope, so this is not
Mhm.
going to um not going to hurt me at all. And then I saw that I lost three hope, and I'm like, this may hurt me. And then I'm gonna roll. Let's see what happens. Wait. Okay, I got 3. I got
You got 3?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it cleared my stuff. So so as I am dancing, because I gotta dance.
Throw that ass in the circle. Throw
I
that ass
think
in the circle.
Luma goes like, oh no, I have to dance to recover this. And I think Luma goes in like within for a second, slowly just doing slide to the slide. And then I'm thinking that maybe a core memory maybe happened, like Fa also joins in and they start like, you know how they do the clap. One, it's a little bit off, but then Luma does like the full on hustle. Dun, 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 dun. And all their like little what's it called? The little furls go this and that way. Spin around, do a half split, come back up.
Not the half split. I'm saying
A professional.
Luma said I'm breaking it the fuck down, big
A
dog.
professional.
Yeah, it's a disco. My
Hey,
character's disco
yo.
based, so I gotta pull something. I gotta do it to them.
Period. You gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta pop out. Is all I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta
And that's
pop
what
out.
Numa does, pop out by popping back up with a pop lock.
Okay. And Zadaya, what are you doing for your downtime, if anything?
I'm gonna approach Whisper and do I notice outwardly that you're sulking type of thing?
Oh, he's not being subtle.
He's not being subtle. Okay.
He's big, like sitting on like one of the bridge posts, back turned. He's very much like he wants somebody to say something.
Whisper, what's the deal? This is so not like you.
You've noticed. Well, if I have to speak about it, I don't understand what is going on. None of you seem to like me very much, and I'm not used to that. I'm very well liked, typically.
Do you normally act like this? Or do you act like you do when you're with Quinn? Because I think that person's likable.
I think I am more likable around Quinn because Quinn accepts me when I'm like this or not.
Well, we don't know you that well. So you can't kind of
Well,
hit us with
no.
the everything that you do.
I'm a performer. This is what I do. I go city to city and I bring people joy. I'm not used, I mean, Salima aside, I'm not used to people just not wanting to be happy.
Okay. So you're a performer. People pay to come and see you perform, right? They're signing up for that. You know, we didn't sign up for it. We're kind of all in the same boat, given a task, and you you don't seem like you're on board with us. I
To
would
be
like you to
honest,
be.
I don't know what you are all doing, honestly. Um, I mean, I'm helping with the scales. I did that part. I'm trying to help with these beasties, but nothing I do really seems to be the right thing. I I feel like everyone else knows instinctively what to do, and I'm just I'm struggling a little bit. I don't know what's really expected from me.
Hmm. We are similar in that. Maybe we all look like we know what we're doing because we're genuinely trying. I feel like you tried the most once we met Quinn. And I would like to see more of that whisper. And maybe we can ease into the more fun, mischievous whisper. I would like that. You kind of hurt my feelings a little bit when you said we weren't your friends, Quinn.
We don't know each other very well. You said that yourself just
You kind
now.
of made it a point, though. It was, I mean, we know we're not friends, but it was kind of like he didn't ask. And you were like, they're not my friends. So I kind of was like, oh, that's where the line is drawn.
Well, I don't think we're friends. I think we're adventuring together right now, but none of you, like I said, seem to like me very much. So
So
I
why do you
didn't.
care if we like you?
And he seems genuinely perplexed. Like, well, we're spending time in each other's presence. Shouldn't we like each other?
We don't have to. We can get a job done and not have to like each other and go our own ways afterwards. But you seem bothered.
I I don't think there's ever been a time in my life or death where I've been around people who I did not like or did not like me in some way. This is all a little strange for me.
Hmm, hmm.
I will try to be less myself if that makes you all more comfortable. Um, I just I'd like you to ruminate a bit on whether asking me to not be my true self is really the best way for us to bond, so to speak.
I'm not asking you not to be yourself. I'm asking you to read the room. I'm asking you to make a conscious being aware that if someone is not in the mood for something, to not push it. That's what I'm asking for you to do, is to use some emotional intelligence. And then she's going to walk away.
Mm. He's gonna fly after her, but he's not gonna say anything.
So the five of you, including Cadence, you see that life, death, and rebirth. The ice has melted at this point. You guys have taken about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to sort of come back to yourselves, get yourselves together. And the dust counts have not gone anywhere. As a matter of fact, they have gone back to what they were doing before. One is licking a paw. You see life licking a paw. Death is chewing on a chew toy. And Rebirth is staring at the three of you, sitting with his head on his paws, just watching you. You hear him purring just a little.
I hope he
And
really likes the
this,
weighted blanket.
you see he's very comfortable, snug as a bug in a rug. And you see Death tries to sort of like weasel its way underneath the blanket, and Rebirth snaps at him a little bit, like, no, this is my blanket, actually. And they are on the opposite side of the bridge to y'all. So they're standing the way that in front of the way that y'all came, and y'all are between them and the doors leading into the temple. So my question is now, would y'all like to go inside the temple? How would you like to proceed?
I think I would want to go in um, cautiously. The door is open, or is it? It's
Yeah, the
open.
door is open, the portcullis is raised, everything is open.
Yeah, I think with that, she's gonna, take a look at everyone, nod her head, and then start to walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Follow.
Okay.
Um,
So,
a question, DM,
mhm,
is the mycelia? Oh, I'm gonna
the
get it.
mycelium. Mhm.
Mycelia very strong under um Luma right now.
Yes, you see that the mycelial path that you put out as your tracker is still on that area. It's still underneath your feet, heading in, and it is hard to see at this point, actually, because the ground is actually covered, and I do mean covered in a floor of shimmering rot. As you get closer and closer to the temple, the mycelial the mycelial like path is lost in the sea of white fungus. Um and as the five of you step inside, Cadence has stopped beatboxing again and is looking around the inside of the temple in awe, gobsmacked. The halls of the temple are cavernous and elephantine, huge. The door itself was almost 50 feet tall and almost as wide. You see a pasture in the courtyard of this castle of glass holding grazing African buffalo, big, like hooves that sort of move in and out a little, curved horns that go down around their ears and back, floppy ears, big soulful eyes, very cute. And above them, you see flying, carved, like buffalo skulls. You can see the skulls themselves are carved in very intricate patterns, and they're floating seemingly on nothing. The horns on the skulls arc down and around, and they just have these glorious carvings on them, and they're floating around. And in the pasture as well, you see one of the skulls sort of dive down into the pasture, and where it impacts, where it hits the ground, a new baby water buffalo calf spurts up from where the buffalo skull was. And you see around you, as you look up, you see floating priests, spectral priests, like ghosts with machetes. And one of them pulls you backwards, sort of leads you forward. And as you walk down and through the pasture, you see different paths that you can go further into the castle. And you do see people milling about in like red and purple and rainbow colored garb. You see some in yellow and green and white, jade, golden, emerald. And as you follow this path through, you're heading towards the back and up an incline, presumably heading towards the throne room. And you see that this spectral priest leads you forward, and that's exactly where you're going, towards the throne room. You see a place massive, cavernous, ridiculously tall and wide. The ceiling goes up into darkness. You can't even see the top of the room. And there are stained glass windows and like carvings in the glass that sort of reflect and deflect the light. So there's patterns that play on the floor. And you see divinity. Your book, Zadiah, glows bright as the sun. And you, Zalima, you see the goddess herself sitting on a throne, one of her legs crossed, leaning against her arm, a big red gele behind her head. And Quinn pops their head up through the throne behind the legs of this goddess and says, "Oh, of course you made it." And you, Luma, you see that this goddess has cuffs of shimmering wrought at her wrists and her ankles, kind of like bracelets and anklets. And there is another god sitting on this throne of black tourmaline, um, like it's kind of black and shale like. It has these striations in. Um, looks brittle almost, but it shines and it's big enough to hold both the goddess and a smaller god. The goddess herself is like 30 feet tall. Skyscraper, massive, huge woman. And the other god is about Calypso's height, maybe 15 feet tall. So still big, but not Oya big. And this god looks down at you specifically, Zadiah, and says in a voice that is both masculine and feminine, with a face that is both masculine and feminine, shifting between the two. And the voices sort of layer in harmony. They look at you and they say, I knew you would bring my sister's book back. And from there, we will actually close for a moment, just 15 minutes, for us to go and be human beings. And we are going to enjoy our time, and we will be back in 15 with more chapter 3. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to Chapter 3 of the Discordant Note, where our spirits have wandered into the halls of the gods. You see that y'all are back in the throne room. You hear drums from a place that you cannot tell. You hear chanting in a language that you understand, Zalima, but nobody else does. Um, Chanting in the language of the dead, the language of the gods, singing praises to the gods. You hear them mention Obatala, Orunmila, Oya, and Osunmare. All four of these gods in different iterations in different places. And you you hear these voices singing praises to the goddess, specifically to Oya. And these voices are thanking her for death, thanking her for storms, and thanking her for their warriors' hearts, what beats beneath their chest. The goddess sits before you, overwhelmingly large, looking both proud and indifferent somehow. And you see Zadiah, the god, who hops down off of the throne and looks at you, stands in all 15 feet of their glory, in robes of gold and emerald, jade and cream, pearl, with cowrie beads, a stack of them around their up their neck. And they say, I knew I had made the right decision when I chose you.
Um, for once, like her mind is kind of blank. Typically, she wants to ask a bunch of questions and gain clarity of some sort. She clutches the book, which I'm assuming is still glowing, and she just
Mhm.
drops to her knees in reverence. And she keeps her head bowed, and she she trembles when she says, "the the well from which knowledge flows. I am incredibly, oh God, I'm so nervous, humbled, my lord." And she just goes quiet.
You see that Orunmila, this personification of knowledge and intuition and understanding, divination, thinking things through, seeing into the future. This god, this goddess, this deity of answers, the bottom of the bottom, the answer to all questions. They stand before you and they say, please rise. You have nothing to bow for.
She gets up slowly, um, and like kind of barely makes eye contact. You, uh, you chose me.
Yes.
She's holding back a question for sure,
Hmm.
but respectfully, she does not ask it.
You see Orunmila tilts their head to the side as though trying to hear your question before you voice it. And they say, I chose you, your people, because I knew the book would find you. I had strong indicators that you would be the one to keep the book safe, that you would be the one to show reverence to Valtira. And you hear this name and register it as the word glimmer in your head. That's what you register it as. And you understand that they are referring to your book, Valtira, the true name. And Orunmila says, your killer. And you see their face sort of frowns a little, their brows mashing in the middle before their face smooths again. And they say, ah, your friend, your rival, stood between for a very long time. Pride is a dangerous thing.
Um, it wasn't until this moment, hearing the word killer, it never registered to her that she was killed.
Mm.
Rival. And she just lets that kind of hang there for a moment. You don't mean Scarlet?
Scarlet, yes.
She killed me?
You see Overnila holds out a hand to you, rings stacked upon their long fingers, gold all throughout. They hold out a hand to you. Do you take their hand?
I do.
They hold your smaller hand in both of theirs, and you feel a flash of memory as though you are washed away in a completely different place. It's like the screen wipes and all of a sudden you're back with your people. Only you are holding the hand of this god who has somehow shrunk down to match your height in this vision, holding your hand still, like the ghost of Christmas past or something. And you see you first joshing, bantering with Scarlet when you guys were much younger and closer before ambition got in the way. And you see Scarlet, long black hair, even then, up in a little ponytail, bobbing as she moves, and her horns sticking up, not having grown enough to bend back and back up yet. And you hear her calling to you, even as you run forward, holding on to a book, the book, Glimmer. And you just found it one day underneath a tree in the area where your people had come to rest. You'd gone off exploring on your own. And underneath, you see this book. The first and only time that you ever saw that book glow before you died was when you first found it. And you saw it and called it Glimmer because that's what it was doing, glimmering in underneath the sun and the leaves in this forest. And from that moment forward, you and that book became inseparable. You opened it, tried to read the cipher, watched the words and the letters jump and weave and bob between one another. And somehow, between you and Scarlet, that book got in the way. Because where both of you dedicated your life to knowledge, you came for knowledge from a place of pure curiosity, trying to get to the bottom, to understand everything, even things that cannot be understood. You wanted to crack the riddle of life. Not because it would bring you power or because it would bring you glory, but because it would bring you peace to understand. But you saw in Scarlet, as the book and greed and ambition and ego sprung up between you and divided you from your friend, you saw that Scarlet pursued the same thing with the same vigor for entirely different reasons. She got bigger, would grow her ego getting bigger, her pride becoming stronger. When people asked her questions and she knew the answer, she provided this knowledge freely and easily. However, when she received the validation or the appreciation from the people she was giving this information to, you would see her heart be clouded over and over with pure ego. Until one day, she comes to you in your study. As always, you are poring over the book. Scarlet asks if she can read it, if she can see it, try to crack it. She has a theory, you see. And reluctantly, you allow her into your space, only for her to try and steal the book from beneath your fingers. You catch it quick enough to stop her. You are reading something, and she's being rude. And when you say as much, Scarlet storms off in a huff, blazes out of the room, slams the door behind her. And you hear her muttering, mumbling, always muttering and mumbling, saying things that you can't hear while you're within earshot. She's not subtle. It's kind of bitchy, actually. And you, the next day, are striding out about your business, reading, nose in this book, as your people have come to rest above a canyon. Deep gash in the ground, huge rock formations. And you are a fawn, so this is not foreign territory to you. You're used to climbing and galloping. You have a sense of balance in more rocky and difficult terrain that most creatures simply do not. This is your home field, and you've got advantage here. However, it just so happens that Scarlet caught you slipping that one time. You took a walk, and you kept walking, and Scarlet made you keep walking. Presented a path, an illusory path before you, and you saw solid earth where there was nothing. And you continued forward, not paying attention necessarily to the people around you, your people who were busying themselves building camp, building fires, making stews, putting up tents, trying to get everybody in the settlement under control and fed and watered, because it had been a long, hard day. Yet, one sees, calls your name just before you fall, says, Zada! Ah! And you hear a scream, ears splitting, as a young person, one of the young people that was part of your school, actually, who was growing up to be just like you, trying to be just like you, only you are now gone. This illusory path disappears underneath your feet, and you fall. For the first time in your life, you fall and continue to fall and continue. It is a brutal way to go. And your spirit has long since passed, hanging above where your body rests in the canyon, your hand splayed out limply over the book. And you see Scarlet standing up at the top of the canyon, sneering down at your body in pure hatred. Before she turns, and you hear her scream, "Something happened to Zendaya! She fell! Elders!" And she's making this big scene. And Orunmila leads you forward into a different place, a cremation site where your people are building a funeral pyre to honor you and to send you off into the next world with their love and blessing. And you see genuine hurt, genuine pain, as the Okape people have lost a very bright scholar this day. And the loudest among them is Scarlet, screaming, throwing herself on the pyre before it's lit, making a damn scene. Broken-hearted, they say. Only time passes, not a lot of time, but some. And Scarlet has taken over your study, has taken all of your notes on the book, has declared the book lost and unsolvable because she couldn't crack it. Orunmila pulls you back. The vision fades. You are once again in the hallowed halls of the Temple of the Gods. And Orunmila says, "You're a killer." Yes.
Zadaya is trying to put the emotions she's feeling together. Tears are streaming down her face, but they're not connecting to her expression. She's kind of grinning and she's just, it's such a stupid reason to kill someone, don't you think? She was my friend. And even though we were growing apart, I didn't think, not one time, not one time. Did I have to die to deliver the book? Is this what had to happen?
Orunmila looks up at the ceiling. You see their visage swirl between that masculine feature, the feminine feature, something in between. And they say in that multi-layered voice, "Yes, but it didn't have to happen now. That was outside of my control."
Her sadness is growing more like a pool of anger. She stole my time. So much more research could have been accomplished and done, and she let something like pride and jealousy. What kind of scholar? You strive forward. You- Is there anything that can be done? I'm sure there's not, but
You see Orunmila give you a contemplative nod, says, "That is not my domain." And at that, you see the goddess straighten and peer down at you from where she sits. You see she's in red robes with purple and gold filigree. There's a name for it. And if y'all know what this is, it's called like an Iru and Buba, whatever it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Nigerian robes. One that has like a sash crosses over and a big red gele, like folded back and back and back and big. It looks like an afro. And she's wearing gold jewelry, stacks upon stacks of gold necklaces. They jingle when she moves, but it sounds like thunder. And she looks down at you and says, "That would be my domain, child." And you hear her voice. It's soft, soothing, but hits you like a thunderclap, like a Mack truck, like the voice of a goddess.
Zadaya is going to acknowledge Oya and bow, not fall to her knees this time, but she's
Mhm.
definitely going to give like a respectful, deeper bow.
Mhm.
And she looks up and she says, "Is this in your plan? Is this your will?"
You see Oya. She thinks on this for a moment, then says, "No, my domain is here with the dead. I do not I do not puppet the machinations of the living in the world below." If you would, she holds out her hand, huge hand, looks like a platform, lays down this plinth like hand, and says, "My book."
Absolutely. And she places the book.
You see this itty bitty little book grows huge in her hands, massive, blossoms out like a flower. And she holds it, and it begins to gleam and glimmer the same way it did when you first saw it, ripples through, and you see it looks like lightning, because of course it does, because that is her domain. And she holds the book, smiles a little, says, "This has been precious to you, has it not?
Yes.
You've cared for it well." And she pulls from a pouch at her side a small monocle, golden, dangling golden chain with like a cowrie bead at the end, like a cowrie shell. And you see the monocle itself go like it sort of like pulses, as far as size is concerned. So it gets smaller and then bigger. And it she puts it on top of the book and then hands it back down to you. And the book shrinks along with the monocle, small enough to be held in your hands. And she says, "You've lived your life trying to read this. I won't make you struggle in death."
The monocle.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. She's literally trying to be respectful, but she's like opening the book and she's like grabbing the monocle, like hungry for the information. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna go to the page that had the instructions she couldn't quite
Mm-hmm.
put together and try to read it.
Give me a knowledge roll with advantage. And actually you can do it with advantage and add a +2, please.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll say a +3 because the goddess is gonna help you. So yeah.
Okay. 25 with hope.
25 with hope. Beautiful. Take your hope. And that's perfect because that was the actual DC. So you switch over to this page, and you see the diagram, and it literally says how to repair the broken scales. It literally says how to repair the broken scales. And you see that diagram. You see scrawled in the margins in the language of the gods. You see talk to the choir, ask the director. And underneath, you see the choir can sing at such a pitch that will bring the scales back to existence. However, they can only do this once an age because the scale should never be broken more than once an age. You see, as you skim through the pages, that the scales have only broken just once before this time, an age ago. Back when Oya was still looked and felt young. And you realize that this is not just a book. It's a journal, a chronicling of Oya's life as a god. That this information, her older sibling, Orunmila, provided to her, helped her find on her own, helped her write down. It's not biographical, it's not linear, but you can see that it is personal, scrawled in the margins, things that she has touched, things that she has written. And Orunmila says to you, it is not lightly that this was given to you. Once an age, the scales may break, and we are able to bless the scales, not create them. And we can help you return them, but we cannot leave this place. Will not leave this place.
She's very much taken aback upon realizing just how personal this book really was. And honestly blessed that she was trusted with its contents. Do, do, once we fix the scales, do you want the book back?
Oya smiles, says, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
And she gives you a cheeky little grin, and you see a dimple in her left cheek. And she says, but I trust you with its contents. And my pets enjoy your presence now, so you're welcome to come back and read it whenever you'd like.
thank you. She's like wiping the tears from her face, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, worth it." um, so I believe that our companion Whisper holds the scales. We ask for the blessing of them so we can fix this mess.
You see Oya gives you a smile and looks over at you, Whisper. And then her eyes slide to Zalima. And they stay there for a moment. And she gives a very warm smile to you, Zalima. Says, my child, my devotee, my acolyte. Not lightly did you give your life to protect your people.
I just hope that it was not worth it, but I hope that it was what was needed to stave off the undoing. Most gracious Mother of Death. And she's gonna just do like it's the most bougiest, deepest bow that you've seen a person do. Like she does like the sweeping of the leg crossing behind her. It looks like it like looks like she is sitting. But if you look very closely, like her butt's not touching the floor, her legs are not completely hitting the floor, but it's like deep. It's deep. It's like debutante levels deep.
You see Oya actually stands from her throne, and she takes a step, and you see her grow down so that she is merely 8 feet tall. And she peers down at you and caresses your cheek with a gentle hand, says, "Rise, child. You have done an incredible service, given the ultimate sacrifice for the good of your people. I see you, and I hold you in my grace." You see Oya reads your expression, reads your memories, reads your death, says, "All your life, you have been in service. When have you served for yourself instead of others?"
I I suppose foolishly I thought me servicing others was me servicing for myself.
Oya gives you a smile, looks to the side, says, "Service is not bad, and you are no fool. However, you have given much with little gratitude, and that is a pity." She holds out a hand to you, and she says, "I offer you adulation and my eternal blessing."
She takes the hand and starts to get up. I did all I did with no thought of for gratitude. It was simply what I wished to. But I am honored and will happily accept your blessing, my lady.
She holds onto your hand, and as you stand, you see she presses a kiss to your forehead right between your eyes. Says, "My door is open to you anytime. Not lightly do I allow my followers to join this realm without at least getting a thank you. You lived your life well. You should be proud."
I thank you.
To the goddess squeezes your hand and releases you. You feel like you feel a streak of lightning, and you see it behind you. You see Oya notices that it makes you slightly uncomfortable, and she squeezes your hand again, and she says, It's fine to fear. However, so long as you don't live in fear, or die in fear in this case, you can survive it. I will try to keep it down to a dull roar, though.
It it isn't the thunder that scares me, my lady. The lightning was the last thing I saw before the waters took me. The thunder was what lulled me to sleep. So it is a complicated feeling of shrinking away from the blinding light, but finding kindness in the roar.
The goddess nods at this, says, "You understand my domain well. There is much to fear, but there is kindness there. You understand me, and I thank you." Her eyes slide to you, Luma, and she releases Zalima, goes to sit back on her throne. You see she grows again, not 30 feet this time, maybe 20. These gods change at will. It's kind of what they do. And you see that Oya looks at you, Luma, says, "Your people seem to have found my gift, and yet you resist. Why?"
Luma looks around, doesn't know any other proper, I guess not proper, doesn't know why people are prostrating themselves to another being, and they're like, they straight up just like look at Oya and says, "I feared it all my life, but there was a point where fear was." I'm sorry, I don't know why I was gonna say fear was not a factor, because I'm thinking of a fear factor for a second. Just a tiny bit, but let me get back. Fear, fear wasn't just a to me, I saw there was some type of hope with even in the moment of the fear that has been taught to me years after year after year, and seeing nothing has happened. But I'm here now, still don't understand what the Shimmering Rod is, but I keep being told is something to be happy about, to be completed. But my question is, what is the Shimmering Rod? Who is the being that is supposed to complete me? I think there's multiple questions, but I think that's the two really like, why was the Shimmering Rod brought to them? Why um why is Spot here?
You see Oya gives you a kind smile at this, says, "The Shimmering Rod, as you call it, is my creation. It is a catalyst, a cocoon, if you will. The world below is in peril. War looms. power is stolen along with agency. People live in fear. And that is not the way. So, with my brother's help, Obatala, I created it as a singular problem for the entirety of the world below to face. Starting with your people, as they tend to be at the center of things, underneath, above, in the world below. What is the being inside of you? Fa. Fa is a tether. The same as So. The same as all of the rest of the people, or the beings, or the spirits within the shimmering rot, as you call it. It is a connection to me, to Obatala, and an unlocking of a different way. A catalyst. However, not without sacrifice does this come. It is a leap of faith. You have nothing to lose but your fear and uncertainty, and everything to gain. It is fear that holds you back. And not just you, but the entirety of the world below. And so you have a choice to make.
And I think Luma goes within themselves and searches for Fa and asks Fa, what choice do you want?
Fa has been listening quietly this entire time. You hear reverence in their silence. Finally, they speak and say, I just want to be whole. It's cramped up here.
I think Luma thinks about it. I'll work on it. We can work on it together. Internal handshake.
Mhm.
Dap it. Let's do a dap. Let's do that.
I mean, yeah.
Side dap. So I gotta bring it back. I gotta bring it back. Gotta bring it back.
Yes. So you and Fa like dap each other up on internally,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Oya notice,
Mm-hmm.
goddess of death after all, and she smiles at this and whisper. You see Quinn come from behind the goddess's feet, basically, and stand beside you. Puts their arm around your shoulders and just stands there as the goddess looks at you. She finally says, you have something for me, do you not?
I do. And he'll step forward a little bit out of Quinn's arm and kind of brandish the scales.
Oya steps down from her throne yet again, goes back to that 8-foot form, and you can see she's tall as shit by comparison to you, even in this smaller form. And she holds out a hand gracefully for these scales, the components of the scale. And she says, "You've carried them well. Your instincts are incredibly good, considering the way that you were brought here." And you see she chuckles a little and says, "It couldn't have been fun to come this way, but I welcome you."
Well, it was not fun, but I think worth it. And thank you.
Oya gives you a smile, curls her hand around the pieces of the scale, and you see they begin to pulse with light. And she bends down over the pieces, small in her hands, and she blows on them. And you hear like a musical tone as the drums behind you, boom, 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 boom. And the chanting gets louder, and they sing their praises to Oya, thanking her for death, for their warriors' hearts, for the storms, for the thunder, for the lightning. And as she blows on these scales, you hear the thunder above. You hear one loud boom, and the scales coalesce. You see the clef sitting on the bar staff, vacillating between a treble and a bass clef. Somehow, both and neither at the same time. The time signature, with the only static portion of it being the dividing line, the numbers above changing between 6/8, 3/4, 4/4. And you see it moving in rhythm, moving in time. And the bar staff, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all up and down the scale, waving in an almost frenetic yet rhythmic pattern. The thunder above stops. The lightning does not. But Oya keeps her promise. She does keep it down to a dull roar. And you see the scale begin to spin and hum and glow. And by, the music of the symphony returns. Farther away than you would have imagined. It is silent in the temple of the gods. And you see Oya and Orunmila, they step back, sit on this throne of tourmaline once again. And Orunmila says to you, Zadiah, "You are welcome anytime, child."
That's such a relief. I can't wait to come back. I have so many more questions, so much more research I want to do. And she's looking around the room like there's scrolls and all that good stuff. She's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I want to read everything."
You
But there'll be
see
time.
Orunmila gives you a very wide smile and says, "You're going to love my study."
One can only dream of moments like that.
You see Oya gives you a smile, gentle, says, "You have the ability to take the scales back. I can aid you in this journey." Quinn, and Quinn, you see they straighten. and give Oya yet another deep bow. They've been prostrating themselves this whole time, back and forth. They only stood up proper when they went to go and grab Whisper. But they bow yet again, and Oya says, "Take them back through the chantry. I'm sure that might be the fastest way, and Harmony will be good, will be glad of this, and Brio can stop having a panic attack."
Zadaya is going to like hold the book and sigh and then go, since we're about to leave, I suppose I should give this back to you. And she's gesturing towards Oya.
Oya holds out her hand, allows you to place the book inside, and you see it glow, like grows again, still shimmering with that lightning colored light. And she places it on her lap, rests a ringed hand on top of it, and says, "Thank you."
Absolutely. I feel kind of naked without it, but it has been returned.
Oya kind of chuckles at that and says, "No, same though."
I'm sure. Does she? Is the monocle for me though? Do I get to keep the monocle? Absolutely don't have to say yes.
Did you just ask
I,
to keep the monocle?
I didn't know if it was a gift. I thought maybe it might be a gift. I don't want to walk away with it, and it I was
Selima,
supposed.
you need a fading couch.
Whisper will kind of perk up, like, "Oh, are we asking for gifts? Do we get gifts?"
No.
Oya looks at you, Whisper, and says, "If you'd like."
What?
Could I join the choir?
Huh. You see Quinn look sharply over at you and then gives you like a bright smile and then looks at the goddess like pleading. You see Oya gives you a smile, says, "It would require training, but you're well on your way, and you're in good hands. In time, you will earn your wings, same as the rest did. Go with my blessing."
So this monocle.
Oh, you actually see Oya go, "Oh, right. Yes, it's yours to keep. I have plenty."
Oh,
I think Aluma, if there's gifts going around here, wants to ask, is there a way that I can get something with the shimmering rod? I think I want to re-experience that, but in this moment or a moment right now, I have lost that feeling. And to be complete, I have to go through it.
Oya says, "Your time in the world below was stolen from you. And you suffered a great trauma, a great shock, and it splintered you. You wish to take on the rot, as you call it,
Is
with
there a
your
name
own."
for it?
Yes, there is. Let me give.
I think in the background too. Selima, you should also ask for something. Selima, this is your chance.
but I don't know. It's fine. No, I'm okay.
Do you not want something for yourself?
I can't think of anything.
What about
Hmm.
the ability to heal without dancing? If that's
It's
possible.
that's not a problem. I can learn to go back to basics, I suppose, with that. So that's not necessary.
Maybe the
You
glasses
see,
that fade into, when it's what's it, transitional glasses that also connect to the Bluetooth.
oh, transitions.
All right, okay. Is it I don't know what steps it takes to work within your temple proper, but I would if you would have me, uh, my lady, I would be honored. I could even just take care of the dust hounds. I That is perfectly fine with me. I like rebirth. Rebirth is very lovely.
You see, for you, Luma, Oya looks at you for just a moment, spares you this glance, says, when you are ready to take your turn with the rot, Adaye is its name. Come back, and I will lead you through. And for you, my dear Zalima, you are welcome to play with my hounds as much as you'd like, but your place is never going to be so menial. You are my esteemed acolyte, and you may join the rest of my esteemed acolytes, a family of few, beloved by me.
That's all I really want, truly. I can't think of anything else, but that'd be nice.
In return, though, may I give
Mhm.
you something?
Of course, anything for you.
She holds out her giant hand and presents you like a silver, like, chain. Like, it's a small delicate silver chain, and at the bottom of it hanging you see a pendant of lightning, like the actual element.
Mhm.
And she holds it out to you. Do you take it?
She's gonna do the thing of like looking at it and then looking up at her and then looking looking at her before she like yes.
And it is warm to the touch, imbued with this lightning energy. And she says, I cannot and would not take away your fear unless you asked me to. However, I will offer you this small piece that you may come to find peace on your own, should you be so inclined. I am
I think
sorry that the light is the last thing that you saw. I am glad that my thunder is the last that you heard, and that my storms could carry you away in peace. I hope only that your time with me will be as restful.
I'm honored by that. The fear is something I know that I wish to become one with on my own time. So I would never ask you to simply take it. But I thank you for this guide in that journey.
Oya gives you a smile, and you see puts a single finger on your cheek, carving, not like breaking skin, but sort of like tracing a line of your jaw in affection, says, You are a treasure. And she looks at the five of you, or the six of you, because Cadence has been here this whole time, not
I told you to
even
stay out.
not even trying to speak.
I don't
Like,
think
just
Kaden should get any gifts. I think
no, he's not asking for anything.
the
He is
gift needs to
standing
go fight.
there
He needs to go fight.
gobsmacked.
Go
Very
fight
like
the dogs.
Are y'all kicking him out for real?
He has not
You
earned his
can.
place amongst us. He
Okay.
should have to fight the Dusk Hounds in
I
order
want
to
it
even
known,
be here.
Whisper is not participating in this.
So y'all basically tell Cadence to go and fight the damn hounds. And Cadence, you see his little fawn tail falls, and he walks out. You hear his hooves clopping,
Oh
and he gives
no!
you a sad look back, and he goes clopping some
I
more.
was just
Another
joking,
sad
Cadence.
look.
I was just
I am not
joking.
joking.
I was
I'm not
joking.
joking.
She's
Cadence is
gonna
gonna
go
die.
grab him. I was just joking. I wouldn't do that to you.
I would do that to you.
No, Cadence.
Cadence just stands at the side of vaguely hiding behind Zendaya, trying to look as small as possible, even though he's taller than you. And he like goes back to prostrating himself in front of the gods. He understands that this is not his place to make a scene. And you see Orunmila hands over a small stone, like a little crystal, to Quinn, says, "Get them back in one piece." And this stone is like a little traveling stone, basically. And Quinn gives a nod to Orunmila, a deep bow, and begins to back out of the room. How would y'all like to proceed?
I'm going to follow down behind Quinn, but I'm gonna kind of like smile and wave as I do so, and kind of skip and grab Cadence. Like, come on.
You see Orunmila gives you a wink and a small twiddling of their fingers.
I'll be back.
Oh my goodness. Zaliba's gonna do like just her bow and like the thank you. But before they do leave, she wants to make sure that she'll go to each of the Dust Hounds and she'll do like to present the hand to have them smell her, and then if they allow her, she will give them like gentle pats. Good.
So you see they sniff your hand. Rebirth gives you a lick on your cheek, and as you scratch their little ears, they like purr under your ministrations. And one of them starts like kicking his little leg as you scratch his ear.
Love it. I'm good.
And for Luma and Whisper.
Whisper wants to try to leave last.
Luma just looks back, doesn't do any prospect, still kind of weirded out. Like, I know there's a place like of some type of like is holiness going on, but their mind is into now, okay, let me get into the groove of how do we become complete. And then I pretty much, for my character, just does like a short wave, like with both my hands, and follows everyone out right behind Cadence. I help Zendaya pick up Cadence, so that's
Poor Cadence. When everyone starts to file out, Whisper will just give like a very sincere, deep bow. And he's not gonna say anything else, but he's gonna just make sure to make eye contact with Oya specifically. And give like another short nod of gratitude before exiting.
Oya gives you a smile, allows you to go. And as you walk out, you hear her softly say, "You should tell them, you know."
Mhm. And he'll clear his throat and scurry faster out of the room.
So the four of you make your way out past the water buffaloes, past the hidden drummers singing their praises to Oya. And you make your way out to the bridge where the dusk hounds are waiting, still chewing on a squeaky toy. And they give you like licks and purrs and like bat at you gently with their paws as you leave, as though thanking you for coming almost. And the 5, 6 of you actually venture forth deeper into the wilds of Elysium. And you see Quinn as you walk out. Quinn was waiting for you specifically, Whisper, and you see that they are standing off to the side holding this little stone. And you see them like twiddling with a necklace, looking a little absent-mindedly. And as they see you, they go, "Oh," and give you a smile, say, "You ready to go?"
And Whisper, as soon as he sees them, will just like grin and go up and like kind of link arms again. I think I am.
You
What's that?
see they hold out the stone. This?
Yeah.
Travel stone. It gets us back to the Chantry and directs its orbit. They're very rare and very precious. So, gift of the gods, I suppose. Makes it easier for me to get back here. I don't know why the hell they didn't give me one to begin with. I am a servant of Oya. I don't understand. They made me walk multiple times.
I think that, well, honestly, I don't understand the gods or their ministrations, but I think there's no one more deserving in the choir or in all of Elysium, really. So I'm glad you finally have it.
You see, Quinn gives you a loaded kind of look, as though they want to say something but cannot. You are welcome to roll instinct or knowledge. Up to you. Whichever you'd prefer.
I'm gonna roll instinct.
Is this a quiet conversation? Can we all hear?
I guess it depends on how close y'all are standing. How close are y'all
I
standing?
mean, I thought we all walked out kind of.
Y'all did kind of walk
Yeah.
out all in a clump.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all can hear.
Yeah, I got an 8 with hope, so
Well, take your hope just the same. You can't tell. You can't tell. Their Quinn is normally extremely expressive, and it's not unusual for them to have like a more complex look on their face trying to figure out how to say what they want to say. This is not the first time you've seen that. And they squeeze the stone and hold your arm closer to them, nod, and finally look away. And they look to the rest of you and they say, "Are the Chantry? We can go."
I'm ready.
I was following you, so yes, whenever you keeper of the stone is ready, I guess I am ready.
You see Quinn full tilt cackles at that. Keeper of the stone.
Of the rock.
I like that. Keeper of the rock.
Rock.
Hey,
Keeper of
hey, hey!
rock?
It
Boulder.
sounds a bit more regal. more important than just a rock.
She broke the stone.
Rocks
Yes.
are regal. What are you talking about?
I like a good stone.
30, you know.
So you see, not Cadence. Cadence don't do shit. Is what he does.
Hayden's dangling from
Useless.
Cadence is dead ass still hiding behind Zendaya, trying not to
He's
be
being
told to go and fight the
carried.
dust counts again. Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
being carried.
he is being carried. He's being carried, hefted by his britches. And so you see that Quinn like holds the stone in both hands and like pushes a certain pattern into it, almost like he's dialing on a phone, almost like they're dialing on a phone, and they like you feel distance lengthen, you feel time dilate. And from this sea of blue and black and green and bioluminescence, from this tidal island and the pool, the nexus of the rot, you disappear in as though somebody like shoved you forward. It has taken you hours at the very least to reach the temple of the gods. And in the blink of an eye, you are back at the chantry and you hear the choir rehearsing. You hear something angelic, something hymnal, something beautifully harmonic, chords in voice. And the sky above you is still covered by the canopy of the chantry. But the lightning has gone, save the lightning on Zalima's necklace. The lightning has gone, and so has the thunder. So has the rain. You don't hear droplets on the canopy of the tree anymore. You see only the banyan tree in front of you, hear the harmonic sound of the choir, and you hear the song that the choir is singing interweaving with the melody of the symphony. And you are brought into the banyan tree, and the bottom floor is empty. Craft services table is still there, and that's where Cadence goes and takes like an armful of food, even though he doesn't need to eat, sits down at a table and starts systematically shoving food in his big ass mouth.
I love
What do you
him.
like to do? Cadence is probably my favorite.
Hearing the choir and like how beautiful and harmonious things sound now, Whisper will kind of like squeeze Quinn's arm a little bit and kind of nudge them like, your choir is waiting for you.
Quinn gives a smile at that and says, "Waiting for us? Is this not where you wanted to be?"
I think it is.
You see Quinn. Quinn releases you and heads up the wall, up the stairs to where the choir is practicing on the 3rd floor. And you see them playing with the chain of that necklace again as they like break through the ceiling. And Cadence is slumped down looking exhausted. He has done 0 things. He has
You have done nothing. Why are you
right.
like this?
He's done a big heaping hunk of nothing. And
Should
it
have
has
taken the anxious
tired
one.
him the hell out.
Should have taken the anxious one.
It's all the emotions he was feeling. I suppose all the emotions.
He did lead us to the banyan tree. Like,
The anxious one could have also done that, but oh well.
Brio.
Selena knows Brio's name. She just always refers to her as the anxious one.
The
Just
anxious
Cadence
one
is
is
just
so
a
funny.
disappointment now.
So for my dear Zadiah, Luma, and Zalima, how would y'all like to proceed? I know that y'all hear the voice of the choir, the voices of the choir. I will have y'all give me an instinct roll, just real quick.
As Zadiah sees Quinn go up the stairs and leave,
Hmm.
she's like, oh shoot, I wonder if he will escort me back. I don't want to walk that far again. Just the next time.
It's okay. We can ride over there together.
You'll go with me?
Of course.
She's really excited. Like she blushes a little.
I got 8 in fear.
8 in fear? Okay, so you hear a whole lot of nothing.
16 hope.
16 hope?
19 hope.
Okay. So both you, Zadiah and Zalima, y'all hear the cellist again, chorale. The voices of the choir have calmed some, quieted a little. As Quinn makes themselves known again, goes upstairs, quietly speaks to the choir, you can't hear them. But you do hear, as the voices of the choir dim a little, you hear disbursement, people moving. And you hear like walking on the ceiling above you. And then people slowly filtering down from the staircases and the walls, coming down, coming to craft services. You see a couple of the fawns with their wings spread wide. They see Cadence and they go, "Hey!" And Cadence goes, "Hey!" And they reconvene and they pour over their food and begin to eat. Even though
Someone's
literally
not tired
none of them
anymore.
have to. No, not at all. Not at all. He found his homies. Now it's too late. So that's what you see. Luma, you see Solana coming down the stairs as well. And you slowly see all of the members of the chorus. I mean, of the choir, not the chorus, different game. Filtering down and slowly filling the banyan tree, and yet again leaving plenty of space because this tree is huge. How would y'all like to proceed?
I genuinely am curious about the food. Even though I know we shouldn't need it. I'm like, why are you eating this food? Does it taste that good? And she's gonna grab and take a bite.
It is, without question, the most delicious thing you've ever eaten. Ever.
I think I might have a problem. And she just grabs another one.
More than satiating your curiosity of knowledge?
Absolutely not. But oh my. This is really good. You should really try it. I think you would enjoy it. And she's gonna hand some over.
Fine. And she bites into it.
Once again, the most delicious thing you've ever tasted. Melts across your tongue, perfect texture, perfectly seasoned. Cause baby, somebody was putting a foot in this food, okay? It's real good.
Reminds me of my Nana. Hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's just like, oh, food that I regularly used to eat anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not just because magic and dead.
Cranked up a couple notches because magic and dead, correct.
Interesting. Enjoy your food.
Zadia's gonna like grab enough, and she's going to approach Whisper and give some to Whisper. You should try it. It's really good.
He's just been like staring at the ceiling kind of longingly, but he'll like, oh, sure, and take some and eat it.
Again, most delicious thing you've ever tasted. Perfect texture. Like, whatever your favorite food is, take that, crank it up to 11, and bada bing.
I do feel like Zadia is one of those people that when she eats food, she does like a little dance. Like if it's
That's
that
real.
good,
That's real.
she's
That's real as fuck.
just bouncing along.
And Whisper will also be dancing because he's also a food dancer.
Oh, that's fair. You hear so 16 with hope, 19 with hope, 8 with fear. Whisper, you hear on your own a soft voice say, "You should come talk to me." And you know it's Quinn upstairs. Zalima, you see Corral back in his corner, over by himself, playing Ken and Wakashima. And Luma, you see Solana come down, head towards you, and give you a wide smile. What would y'all like to do?
Alex, we're over time. Just as a heads up.
Shit, I didn't know.
So we can save this for next time.
Yes. So I thought it was 1:30. Oh my god. Okay.
I also forgot. Don't worry.
Me
I
too.
I
Okay,
was
great.
enthralled, so I was like, I guess we're playing.
Yeah, I was lost in the sauce a little bit.
Gosh. Me too. Okay, so what we will do, as our spirits have come back to the chantry, we will close from here and come back for chapter 4, the final episode of The Discordant Note. And I will go around very quickly and reintroduce my beautiful cast. We will start with Satine.
Hello, my name is Satine Bonnet. My pronouns, my name, and they, them pronouns. You can find me at Batty Bards. Click on my card. I'll see y'all there. And I'm gonna move it to Sweet Coat.
Hello again. I'm Sweet Coat, she, her. You can find me on Instagram under that same name, on TikTok under that same name. I cosplay, I do TTRPG. I have the BIPOC game coming up Sunday at 6. All that's in my links on my socials as well. I'm gonna pop it over to Ava.
I had the sound off for Ryu's sake. But I'm Madam Ava. Hello. I had a BIPOC vamp episode yesterday. It is called Saint Mercy Blood Drive. I was a bimbo and I got 3 sugar daddies. You should check out how I did that. Other than that, you can find me on Exquisite Corpse Presents on Sundays for Thirsty Soul Lesbian, Arthurian, daughter of King Arthur, very nervous, murdered her stepmother a while ago. Anyway, and then on Wednesday, you can find me back here for Roll for Luck verse. We are in Orbital Blues, but soon we're going to get to the blah, blah, blah. You'll find out what that means on Wednesday. See y'all. Over to RJ.
And I'm RJ from TV. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok under that name. And I'm also going to be in the BIPOC game with Sweet on Sunday at 6 p.m. And that is where you can find me.
Okay, and I have been Alex. This is my beautiful cast. I am so happy with them. They did an amazing job. My name is Alex. I've been your storyteller for today. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me bopping around the internet under AlexAMA_. You can check out my beacons. I do stuff on the internet sometimes. Other than that, you can find me at Baddie Bards, BADDIEBARDS. That is where I am the executive producer and GM of a campaign called Echo, an ass throwing actual play podcast. All Black, all queer, all trans, all the time. And yes, I will see you guys next week for our closing chapter of the Discordant Note. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we will see you later.